One of the most common symptoms that we see across the board with our guests is complaints in the digestive system. And this ranges from gas to bloating to chronic constipation or even diarrhea. And one of the things that we find commonly behind this symptom is that people are dealing with some food intolerances. Now, there can be other things that can contribute to that, but with food intolerances, we notice that when they avoid the foods that show up on their test, they start to feel better. Their symptoms improve. And this food intolerance test is a little bit different than a food allergy, where you would see maybe that you eat shrimp and you can't breathe, right? This is a little bit different, that it's detecting this low-level inflammation. But it can be a little bit overwhelming for some people when they have a big list of foods that they shouldn't be having. But is it true that they shouldn't be having these foods, Morgane? Or what type of advice do you give to someone that comes up with a big list in the red?
Yeah, like it's, as you said, it's overwhelming. Most of the time they arrive, and I understand that you freak out if you have like I don't know, your favorite foods, like 20 of them on top of that list. So you are a little lost and you don't know what to do. So the best advice and always the recommendation is, yes, you want to avoid that food, but it's not on a long term. It's like 3 to 6 months that you want to avoid that. Why? Because especially if your list is long, you have a lot of inflammation in your gut. It does not mean that you are allergic to that type of food. It just means that having too much creates like a reaction that is too heavy or too high in your gut, right? So if you avoid the contact with that food for 3 to 6 months, and you start and reintroduce it like one by one or like slowly but surely afterwards, you can probably have it afterwards, right? It's just that time that your body is telling you, okay, you know what? It's too much. Let's stop for a while and go back to it later.
Right. And so we can focus on all the things that we can have, because it also tests 240 food substances. So the key is in adding that diversity to improve the good bacteria that's already there. And that comes from having a diversity of many different types of plant-based foods, some fruits, vegetables, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about diversity. And most of the time, if you see your favorite food on top, it's because maybe you always eat the same. And we are like human, we always go by the routine, right? We always go with our habits. Like in the morning, I have my green smoothie. Although it's healthy, then if it's always the smoothie, the salad, the soup, it's always the same ingredients, you're lacking all the rest. And there are so many ingredients in life that then you do not create that diversity that your gut needs to really boost your health.
So the food intolerance is a simple test. It's a blood test. You should avoid taking antihistamines about 3 days before the test, because that can skew the results. And we get the results in about 7 to 10 days, and then they can come to see you for some guidance, right?
Yes, the test is fortunately testing 240 plus ingredients that you can actually have in your diet. So if you come and see me, I can help you based on a food diary that you can bring to me. Based on your habits, I can help you to reintroduce some of those 240 ingredients that you can actually have, and that's great, right?